Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson, and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School Viking Girls basketball. Tonight, the 7-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 3-2 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, are getting ready to take on the 4-10 Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who are 2-3 in the conference, in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference contest. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Hilltoppers and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a look around the Dunn-St. Croix Conference to see where things stand. Then we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to Viking pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's girls Dunn-St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Vikings are coming off an impressive 66-36 non-conference win over the Blair Taylor Wildcats on Saturday, while the Hilltoppers were defeated by the Olivestrom Cardinals 43-33 also on Saturday. Now, in that Viking game against Blair Taylor, the Vikings dominated from the get-go, allowing their advantage and experience to control the game. Leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was 5'7" senior guard McKenna Shipman, who hit on 10 field goals, including 4 three-pointers for 24 points. She was followed by 5'7" sophomore Bryn Sikora, who hit on 5 from the floor and going 2 for 2 from the free throw line for 12 points. Jeanette Hajdukovic also contributed 8 points, along with Kaysen Goodell and Jordan Bovey, who added 7 points each. Now, today the Vikings are getting back into Dunn-St. Croix Conference play as they prepare to face the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers are currently 4-10 overall and 2-3 in the Dunn-St. Croix. Coming into tonight's game, leading the way for the Hilltoppers is freshman power forward Tori Ullman, who is shooting 37% from the floor and 44% from the free throw line, while averaging around 11.5 points per game. She's followed by junior center Isabel Davis, who's adding another 8.5 points per game. On the boards, the Hilltoppers are led by Davis and Ullman, who are pulling down 10 and 6.5 rebounds per game, respectively. Now, so far this season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is Shipman, who's averaging over 14 points per game. She's being followed by Goodell, who's accounting for over 8 points per game, along with Hajdukovic, who's putting in just under 8 per game. On the boards, the Vikings are being led by Shipman with around 6 rebounds per game, while Hajdukovic grabs 5 and Jada Anderson pulls down over 4 boards. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Viking head coach Courtney Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking Girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, back on Saturday, the Vikings utilized their advantage and experience to defeat the Blair Taylor Wildcats with an impressive 66-36 win. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I was really impressed with my kids. I thought that, sometimes it's hard to play on a Saturday. You're out of your routine. It's a different time, long bus ride. But I really thought that we came to play right from the start. You could tell, I think we jumped out to like a 9-2 lead or something. So you could tell that they were frustrated right away, but we also did a good job just, showing that we were going to come ready to play and it was going to take your best to play with us. And I thought it was our best overall, team game that we had played as of yet.
Now, in that game, it sure seemed as though the Vikings brought pressure on both ends of the floor. Can you talk a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah, like I said before, we've been working on trying to let some of our defense create our offense. We've been struggling offensively, so, trying to run the floor a little bit harder, trying to get some of those easier looks in transition. And I thought we did a good job. I thought we made some nice passes and, missed some layups, but I was happy with, our attempts and everybody, looking to run. And obviously, they couldn't run hardly any of their offense. We did a really great job, communicating with each other. They run a ton of, good sets that require a lot of communication. And I was impressed with our team defense.
Now, tonight, the Vikings are going to get right back into Dunn St. Croix Conference play as they face off against the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. What can you tell us about the Hilltoppers?
Yeah, they've been playing well, as of late. They've picked up a couple wins. That's good for them. I think, they're, trying to build something and build off of, some success. So we're just going to have to come ready to play.
Now, since the Viking season is just over halfway through, can you comment a little bit about the progress the Vikings have made from the start of the season thus far and what's still on the docket to be done?
Yeah, our schedule is probably one of the most difficult schedules that any team, can play. I think, we just want to play people who are good and try to get better. And, it can hurt you, I think, if you, don't appreciate what it can do for you in the long run. But I really think that the girls have, rallied around what I've been saying and, we don't have a bad loss. They're all things that we need to learn from. And, I think that we'll start to see some of those lessons that we've learned as we, start to head back through the second time of conference play. And, even last year, we went on quite a winning streak in January and into February. So I'm hoping we can do that same thing again this year. But again, we're just trying to get better, every single day. And that's, we take it one game at a time. And I'm not looking too far into the future. Just going to tackle, like you said, Glenwood, and then continue to look forward.
Yeah, in fact, if you hadn't said the one game at a time, I was going to throw it in there because, you'd commented about making a run similar to last year's, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's one game at a time, and the winning streaks will take care of themselves. Well, Coach Serrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will find a way to keep the pressure on those conference leaders.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
We all know what it's like to feel alone. But it just takes one new connection. Want to get out of here? To empower many.
This is unbelievable.
It doesn't take a superhero to bring forces together. We all have the power to reach out
Let's go!
and help someone feel like they belong.
Pretty cool, huh?
We are stronger together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Today the Vikings are getting back into Dunn St. Croix Conference play by facing the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Dunn St. Croix Conference had 3 teams in non-conference action over the weekend. In addition to the Vikings defeating the Blair Taylor Wildcats 66-36, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers dropped a decision to the Olivas Drum Cardinals 43-33, and the Clayton Bears defeated the Boyceville Bulldogs 44-32. Now, as the Dunn St. Croix Conference gets back into action, the standings are as follows. In first place with a 5-0 record are the Elk Mound Mounders. In second place at 4-1 and a game behind are the Durand, Arkansas Panthers, while the Colfax Vikings and the Mondovi Buffaloes are tied for third place at 3-2, just 2 games back. Now, tied for fifth place and 3 games behind at 2-3 are the Spring Valley Cardinals and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, while seventh place at 1-4 sit the Boyceville Bulldogs, and 8th place belongs to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves at 0-5. Now, tonight, in addition to the Vikings hosting the Hilltoppers, the Elk Mound Mounders will face the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in Elk Mound, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers travel to Spring Valley to face the Cardinals, and the Mondovi Buffaloes take on the Boyceville Bulldogs in Boyceville. Today, the Vikings are getting ready to greet the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers currently sit at 2-3 in the Dunn St. Croix, which puts them in 5th place, right behind the Vikings, who are 3-2. The Hilltoppers are averaging 34 points per game while giving up 40. Meanwhile, the Vikings are averaging 52 points per game while giving up 37. So with that said, we'll have all the action of tonight's Dunn St. Croix Conference battle right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you today's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Colfax Viking Girls basketball is on the air.
To the right side, they feed it down underneath to Hajdukovic, who lays it up and in. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 2.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School girls basketball.
No good on the shot. Rebound taken away by Shipman and puts the shot up and in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Nigaman, she launches a three. She hit the three!
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Well, good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson with you here along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. We have too many hyphenated names in this conference, I tell you. Anyway, it's the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. And of course, we have the Colfax Pep Band playing for us in the background, and they're all dressed in their Hawaiian garb. It's been a warm winter, so maybe that's what they're trying to do, is celebrate the warm winter.
Yeah, maybe that'll keep the cold weather away.
So, tonight the Vikings come into this game with a record of 7 wins and 6 losses. They're 3-2 in the Dun St. Croix Conference. And the Glenwood City Hilltoppers are at 2-3. That's right. They're 2-3 in the Dun St. Croix. So, Dan, why don't you tell us who's playing in this game?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers tonight. They're going to go with 5'5" sophomore number 4, Opal Volts, 5'8" senior number 5, Libby Wagner, junior number 24, Jenna McCarthy, freshman number 34, Tori Ullman, and junior number 52, Isabel Davis. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 5'6" junior number 4, Kason Goodell, 5'5" senior number 20, Meadow Kellner, 5'7" senior number 32, Jada Anderson, 6 foot senior number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic, and 5'7" senior number 42, McKenna Shipman.
And that's the starting lineup that we've been having most of the season. By the way, the Hilltoppers are 4-10 overall, and like we said, 2-3 in the Dun St. Croix Conference. So, Dan, when you're looking over the Glenwood City roster and so on, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, I think tonight, Glenwood City's not a big outside shooting team for threes. They shoot a lot of jumpers. Tori Ullman's already has 106 attempts at field goals this year, and she's only shot 7 attempts at three-pointers, and she's the leader for three-point shots. So Colfax pretty much just has to make sure they take care of the baseline, get their rebounds, and there's going to be some chances on the outside, I'm sure, for Glenwood City to get a shot, but yeah, take care of that. They don't shoot the free throws the greatest. They're averaging probably the mid-30% in free throws. And, if Colfax came with the one and done on the boards, I think they can keep taking control of this game.
And basically, the way I look at it, if we see the defense that we've seen the last several games for the Vikings, especially the one that played down at Blair Taylor on Saturday, where they get in the way of everything at both ends of the floor, I could see them causing a lot of frustration for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers.
Yeah, Colfax got a deep bench. They've had a deep bench forever, so they play 10, and that'll help.
A clown in every crowd.
It is. Yeah, so
I happen to be related to that one.
So yeah, I think as long as Colfax controls the ball in the first half, gets it jump out to an early lead, and Jeanette Hajdukovic and Jada Anderson, they can work the boards along with Autumn Nigaman and see if they can get a win tonight.
Okay, and we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer, and And he'll have for us the national anthem along with the starting lineups from tonight's game. And that'll be coming up in just over 10 seconds.
Would everyone please stand and able, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart onto the flag as the national anthem is played by the Colfax High School Pep Band. Welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's Dunn St. Croix girls basketball matchup between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Hilltoppers. Number 4, sophomore, Opal Volt. Number 5, senior, Living Right. Number 24, junior, Jenna McCarthy. Number 34, freshman, Tori Olin. And number 52, junior, Isabel Davis. First pounder. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. Halftime as our dance team will perform their hop routine. Also, don't forget to purchase your 50/50 raffle tickets. Our winner will be chosen at halftime.
And we will have a sportsmanship announcement coming up in just a moment. It looks like Autumn Nigaman is going to be presenting it. And that was Autumn Nigaman with the sportsmanship announcement. Hilltoppers out on the floor with Volz, Wagner, McCarthy, Oman, and Davis. And now the Vikings come out with Goodell, Keltner, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. The official steps into the circle. Ball goes up. Tip is controlled. Loose ball finally picked up by the Hilltoppers. And they bring it into the forecourt with Volz. They get it over to the near side. That's McCarthy. High, wide, and left. Tries to feed it in toward the lane. Now back out to McCarthy between the circles. Over to the right side to Davis. Back out to McCarthy. Now to Wagner. Back to McCarthy. to Davis. Turnaround jumper is no good. We have a whistle and a foul, and I think it's on Jeanette Hajdukovic. It is. First foul on anybody in this one. Not even 30 seconds into the game. She didn't waste any time, Dan.
Yeah, she leaned right into it, and I bet that's part of the Glenwood City strategy.
And the first free throw is up and good by Isabel Davis.
If they can get some of the Colfax girls in trouble right away, in foul trouble.
Second shot up. It's good.
That'll open up the inside.
Selkasen Goodell brings the ball up the floor, right through the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Takes it down toward the baseline to Hajdukovic, then to McKenna Shipman, who lays it up and in. Shipman cutting through the lane. Hajdukovic found her, and Shipman put it in the hole. Bolts with it over on the right side, gets it out to Wagner, and then to the top of the key to Davis. Back over to Wagner, high, wide, and right. Takes it to the right elbow, kicks it out to McCarthy. McCarthy down low to Davis, and the ball gets taken away by Anderson. Over to Shipman, and then to Goodell on the right side. Feeds it down underneath and just out of the reach of Hajdukovic. Right idea. They just didn't connect on the pass. Vikings putting some full court pressure on now as the Hilltoppers trying to inbound it. They get it in to McCarthy, gets it down the floor. The pass was intended for Davis, intercepted. Hajdukovic got a hand on it, got it over to Shipman, drives in the lane, puts it up, it does not go. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Down the floor and underneath to Oman, and the ball got knocked away, and Vikings have it. Goodell at the free throw line, into the lane, got stopped there, no foul called. Loose ball picked up by the Hilltoppers. McCarthy on the pass, tries the long one down the floor, and they got it to Oman, who put it up and in. Hilltoppers with a 4-2 lead on the Vikings. Goodell feeds it into the lane, then back to Goodell. Nice little give and go, and it's in. She passed it to Hajdukovic at the elbow. Goodell cut straight down the lane. Hajdukovic got it back to her, and she laid it in. Wagner gets it to Davis. Turnaround jumper, no good. Goodell with the rebound. Quickly down the floor she comes. Vikings have numbers. To Hajdukovic, puts it up and in. 6-4, Vikings take the lead.
And Gabochin's trying to get out and transition right away.
Libby Wagner on the dribble in the center circle for the Hilltoppers. Lost it off her foot. Picked it up, got it over to Volts. And we have a jump ball being called. And we have 5 in, 5 out for the Vikings. So Nigaman inbounds it to Jordan Bovey. She comes across the timeline, feeds it over to J.C. Bovey, takes it over to the top of the key. Then to Sikora, then to Sierra Shipman. Now J.C. Bovey with it, and she got hip checked as she tried to go into the lane.
She'll be on 24.
And it is.
Saw that little hockey check there.
Dan with the eagle eyes. Pass comes in to Sikora, and she banks it off the glass and in. 8-4, Vikings on top. Volts gets it over to the right side, then they try the cross-court pass over to Wagner, and it went out of bounds. So the Vikings will get it back. Nigaman hands it in to Jordan Bovey, over to JC. JC takes it to the free throw line, gets it out to Sikora. Then over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in. 10-4, the Vikings on top. Bolts feeds it down to Davis, then out to Wagner. Between the circles, down to Davis in the right corner.
Back out to Wagner. Wagner comes down the right side, puts it up, no. Rebound taken down by Sierra Shipman. She brings it down the floor quickly, straight down the lane, tries to feed it down underneath, and the ball got taken away by Davis. She hands it off to Volts, who dishes it off to McCarthy. Back out to Volts, over to Wagner on the right side. Try to get it down underneath to Davis, and the pass gets taken away by Sikora. Gets it to Bovey, tries to put up, no good. Putback shot is up, no good. Sierra Shipman with the putback, and she's going to go to the line because she drew the foul.
Foul's on number 5.
Libby Wagner. It's her first second team foul on the Hilltoppers. Sierra Shipman with her first shot is no good. The Vikings have played really good ball as of late, Dan, but the one thing that started lacking is their free throw shooting all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think they only made 4 last game.
And the second one does go up and in. 11-4, Hilltoppers have it. They feed it down the right side. That's to Blees, and she took an extra step. Or check that. That wasn't, yeah, it was. For a minute there, I didn't think Blees was in there, but she is. Jordan Bovey on the dribble, gets it over to JC. JC to the free throw line. Back out to Sikora. To Bovey, out to Nigaman, puts up a 3. No, it doesn't go. And the ball comes down to Oman. She dishes it off to Volts, who brings it across the timeline. Over to the far side, now back to the near side. And the shot goes up by Oman, it's no good. And the Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Sikora dishes it off to Jordan Bovey, 3-pointers, no good. Quickly down the floor is Blees. Blees over to Wagner, then to Davis, back to Wagner at the top of the key, then to Davis, free throw line extended on the right side, then to Blees, and she took an extra step before putting the ball to the floor. So the Vikings have it. Jordan Bovey with it between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to JC. JC picks up the dribble, gets it over to Sikora, then to Jordan Bovey. Then to JC, drives into the lane, tries to lay it up, got fouled. That should send her to the line. And that's going to be a foul on Wagner.
Quick 2 on her.
And that is the third team foul on the Hilltoppers. First shot's up off the back of the iron, no good. 11-4, Vikings on top. McCarthy back into the lineup, giving Wagner a break. 12-14 remaining in the first half. Second shot on the way off the front of the iron. It's no good. Rebound tipped around, taken down by Davis for the Hilltoppers. She hands it off to McCarthy. Feeds it over to the near side to Blees. High, wide, and left. Down to the left side of the lane, and then into the middle of the lane to Oman. Then to McCarthy, puts a shot up, and we got a whistle and a foul.
I think it's on Brent Sikora.
And I think you're right, you are. I know better than to question you.
Thought I saw a hand get in there.
McCarthy at the line, her first shot is up, it's no good. Into the lineup for the Hilltoppers is Kaylin Brandt, giving Davis a break. Shot goes up, and that one's good. 11-5, Vikings on top. Jordan Bovey brings it down and across the timeline. To Nigaman at the right elbow, feeds it into the lane to Sikora, puts it up, no good. Rebound. Nigaman gets it, quickly over, and now they get it out to Sierra Shipman, and she got the three. They gave her the three. They say she was behind the arc.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Quickly down the floor come the Hilltoppers. They get it over to Brandt, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down, long lead pass to Shipman. She lays it up, she hit it. Sierra Shipman. And she drew the foul. That foul is on Jenna McCarthy.
Her second.
And that's the fourth team foul. So Sierra Shipman at the line. First shot is up. It's no good. McKenna Shipman got the rebound, got it back over to Sierra, and then the ball was knocked out of bounds by the Hilltoppers. And Sierra goes and has a seat. Meadow Keltner in. Pass comes into Hajdukovic. Brings it over to the right side. Anderson takes it into the lane, dishes it back out to Keltner, who feeds it to McKenna Shipman underneath and puts it up and in. Some nice ball work that time by the Vikings. Hilltoppers bring it down. This is Eliason. Is that how you said it, Dan?
Eliason.
Okay. Yep. Now they get it over to McCarthy, puts the shot up, and it's off the piping on the back of the backboard. So it will be Viking ball. And Goodell on the dribble. She's across the timeline, feeds it over to the near side to Anderson. Anderson out to Shipman, puts the shot up. It's off the front of the iron, and coming down with it is Eliason. She dishes it over to Blees. Blees over to Volts, who puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Anderson. Feeds it to Goodell, lays it up over Leda, but Anderson with the putback, and it's good. And we have a timeout on the floor with the Vikings on top, 20-5 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Austin and Nikki Pritchard are just what the doctor ordered. In fact, they are the doctors and they're ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings with a 20-5 lead over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who will inbound the ball and have to traverse the length of the floor. Vikings with full court pressure. Long pass comes into Davis. Feeds it over to Wagner. Wagner back to Davis at the free throw line. Out to Wagner between the circles. To Belize, high, wide, and right. Then to Wagner on the right side. Puts it up, and it rolls in. Libby Wagner with two. 20-7, Vikings on top. Goodell takes it into the lane, takes it to the hole. It doesn't go. And down the floor comes Libby Wagner with the ball. Wagner feeds it over to the near side to Volts. Then to Wagner. Wagner tries to pass it underneath to Davis, and they misconnected. Ball goes out of bounds. Vikings ball. And Goodell brings the ball down the floor. To Keltner, puts up a three. She hit the three. Meadow Keltner with the three. Meadow Keltner is going to be our Viking profile at halftime today. So you get to know who made that shot.
That's one thing about Colfax is they already have 8 different girls with points tonight.
And we have a whistle and a jump ball being called. Possession arrow in favor of the Hilltoppers. 23-7. Vikings on top. Wagner looking for somewhere to go. Finally gets it into Davis. Takes it into the lane. Jump shot is up. It's short. Rebound taken down by Wagner. Circles around back into the lane. Out to Davis. Then to Belize. On the near side. Then to McCarthy. Then to Wagner. She tries to go down the right side. Gets it off to Davis. Davis with a jump shot from the baseline, and she hit it. About an 8-foot jumper.
4 points for Isabel Davis.
23-9, the Vikings on top. They feed it to Shipman, out to Keltner. Takes it down, lays it up, puts it in. 5 points tonight for Meadow Keltner. Down the floor comes Belize between the circles. Gets it over to Wagner on the right side. Pass gets tipped away by Hajdukovic. Keltner with it. Feeds it down the floor to Goodell. Goodell lays it up. She got fouled going up.
It's another foul on Libby.
That's foul number 3 on Libby Wagner. 15th foul. First shot is up. It's no good by Goodell. And Wagner's going to go take a seat, as is Tori Ullman. Second shot on the way. That one's good. 25-9. Pass was blocked by Hajdukovic, but then picked up and across court over to Davis. Then they get it down in the corner and it's taken away by Shipman. Feeds it to Keltner. Keltner lays it up, overlaid it. Put back shot. No, they didn't try to get it to go, but they sent it out to Shipman. Puts up a 3, no good. Hajdukovic takes the ball away. Goodell picks it up. Drives into the lane, lays it up, puts that one in. Scrappiness, that's about what you got to call it by the Vikings on the offensive end.
Second and third chances for Colfax.
Hilltoppers with it. McCarthy, now they feed it into the lane. McCarthy's got it there, and we're going to get a foul. And the foul's on Goodell. It's her first. Third team foul on the Vikings. Again, the Vikings with the hockey line change. 5 in and 5 out. Pass comes in to Davis, gets knocked away, and then out of bounds. Last touched by the Hilltoppers.
I think.
No, they're going to say the Vikings touched it.
I think number 4, Opal Volt's got a little friendly fire from her own teammate there.
I think you're right. Yeah, she's still not all together down there. Trying to put the shot up was Eliason, and it was partially blocked but picked up by Belize. Now over to the right side to Davis, then back around to the near side to Volts, who tried to pass it down low, and it goes out of bounds. And we're going to get a substitute coming in for Volts.
I think it's a contact.
I think you're right. I think she's got a contact that's not there. Pass from Jordan Bovey intended for Sierra Shipman was tipped out of bounds by Eliason for the Hilltoppers. Vikings will maintain possession. Pass comes into Jordan Bovey. Comes across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side to JC. JC from 3, off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound, tied up down there. Jump ball, Nigaman got in there and tied up Eliason. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, that's how Autumn rolls. She gets right in there and gets turnovers and rebounds.
Brooklyn Bright checks into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. Pass comes in, laying it up, and in is Sierra Shipman.
Season high for her. She came in with 6 points.
Well, she's got 8 now. Hilltoppers with it over on the right side. Belize with it, takes it between the circles, feeds it over to the right side to Eliason. Then to Belize, now over to the left, and down into the left corner to Davis. She dribbles it back out high, gets it over to Belize, down in the right corner now. And in looking for somewhere to go, swinging the ball, she also swung her feet. Traveling call on the Hilltoppers. Vikings bring the ball down. Jordan Bovey feeds it underneath to Shipman. Sierra Shipman with the 2.
Yeah.
Nice pass by Jordan Bovey. Just hit her right in stride, and she could do the reverse layup. Davis with it for the Hilltoppers down along the baseline. Tries to feed it down along the baseline, and it's out of bounds off of Omen, and it'll be Viking ball. Bovey right through the C in the Colfax Gymnasium. Over to Shipman, and then out, and a three-pointer for Socorro. 35-9, the Vikings are on top. Davis gets it over to Belize, back out to Davis at the top of the key, back to Belize on the right side. Trying to feed it down low, it goes out of bounds, and it's Viking ball. Dan, this is what I was talking about by that Viking defense, just getting in the way of everything.
Yeah, you know, Glenwood City's still trying to go inside Isabel, and Colfax has done a really good job on the inside, pretty much one and done on the boards.
Jordan Bovey with it, feeds it over to the left side to Sierra Shipman. She kicks it back out to Socorro. Socorro dribbles it back out between the circles, resets everything to Jordan Bovey in the center circle. Over to the near side to J.C. Bovey. Takes it into the lane, puts a shot up, rattles around, and comes out. Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Belize feeds it over to McCarthy. And then the Vikings come away with it, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul.
Who's that on?
I think it's on Jenna McCarthy. It is. Third foul on McCarthy. Sixth foul on the Hilltoppers. Vikings will be in the bonus from here out in the first half. Bovey feeds it to Bovey. This is J.C. with it. She gets it out to Socorro, who drives in, lays it up, and puts it in. 37-9. The Vikings are on top.
7 points for Socorro.
Belize feeds it over to Bright, who tries to get it back out to Belize. It's taken away, and laying it up, it's no good by J.C. Bovey. Jordan picks up the rebound. Out to Nigaman, puts up a three, round and around and out. Socorro has it, drives into the lane, puts it up and lays it in. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor called by Glenwood City. They want to talk things over as they're trailing the Vikings 39-9 on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings have opened up a 39-9 lead with 3:43 to go in the first half. Hilltoppers bring the ball down the floor. They get it over to the far side to Belize. Back to Volts, and then down underneath to Davis. Puts it up, no good. Rebound and long outlet pass to Jordan Bovey. Lays it up and puts it in. Here come the Hilltoppers. Volts gets it over to Brandt. Or check that, that was Bright. Now they get it back to Volts on the left side. Tries to feed it into the lane, gets knocked out of bounds off the Vikings. I think Autumn Nigaman was the last one to touch the ball. So Belize to inbound. High pass comes into Bright. She's high, wide, and right. Cross court over to Volts. Back to Bright into the lane to Oman. And she got fouled as she tried to put the shot up. And the foul's on Autumn Nigaman. That'll be her first, fourth team foul on the Vikings. It's going to send Tori Oman to the line. First shot is up. And no good. Rattled around on the rim a little bit, but wouldn't go down. Second shot is up. That one's no good. Rebound taken out by Sierra Shipman. To Bovey. Jordan on the dribble. Feeds it over to Sierra on the left side. Back out high to Sikora. Puts up a three, and she hit the three. And a traveling call being called on the Hilltoppers. And the ball's going to go right back to the Vikings. 44-9. Vikings on top. 2:44 remaining in the first half. Pass comes in to Jordan Bovey. She puts up a three. No. Rebound taken down by Davis. She feeds it off to Bright. Feeds it down underneath to Oman, and the ball gets knocked around. Oman comes away with it, puts it up, and got fouled. I think this one's on Nigaman again. She climbed over the back that time. Second foul on Nigaman. Fifth team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up. It's good. Second shot on the way. That one's off the front of the iron. Taken down by Sierra Shipman. Gets it off to Jordan Bovey. Sierra almost ran over Jordan. Over to J.C. Bovey. Back to Jordan. She's got it between the circles. Over to Sierra on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. Now out to Jordan. Over to Sierra. Then down into the lane to Sikora. Thought about backing and gets it out to Nigaman. Over to J.C. Bovey. Takes it into the lane. Puts a shot up. No good. J.C. gets it back, and the ball's taken away from her by Davis. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Blees feeds it over to Davis on the right side. And they try to feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked away and out of bounds by J.C. Bovey. Eliasson was the intended recipient of that. So she will be inbounding the ball. Pass comes into Davis. She lays it up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. She gets it off to Sikora. Sikora hands it off to Jordan Bovey. She's going to set things up in the center circle. Over to the right side to Sierra Shipman. And the ball got knocked out of her hands, and in trying to recover it, Sierra couldn't. and it goes out of bounds to the Hilltoppers. 44-10. Under a minute and a half to go in the first half. Pass between the circles to Eliason. Shot goes up, no good. Davis tried to put it up, and they're going to say jump ball, and it's going to be Hilltopper ball with the possession arrow. Eliason to inbound. Pass comes into Ullman, puts the shot up, it's no good. Davis with the rebound, putting it back up, no good. And we get a whistle and a foul down underneath, and we're going to walk the length of the floor.
Fouls on 44.
That's Annika Eliason, her first. It is the 7th foul. Sierra Shipman at the line for the 1-and-1 for the Vikings. The first shot is on its way. It rolls around, no good. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. Gets it over to Jordan Bovey, lays it up and in.
6 points for Jordan.
Vikings doing a really good job of spotting the open player. Lee's with it. Gets it over to Eliason on the near side. Cross-court pass over to Volts. Out at the top of the key. Nigaman steals the pass and gets it over to Jordan Bovey. Takes it down into the forecourt. Now she circles around. It's going to set things up. Gets into the center circle.
They can play for one.
Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the half. Over to Nigaman. Out to J.C. Bovey. To Sikora. To Sierra Shipman. To Jordan. Out to J.C. To Sierra. Or check that was to Sikora. Now Jordan Bovey has it at 10 seconds to go in the half. Jordan Bovey takes it into the lane. She goes up, got fouled on the way up. I think this is going to be on Brandt.
Yep.
It is. Foul number 8 on the Hilltoppers with 6.6 seconds remaining. First shot is up, it's no good. Second shot on the way, and that one's also no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora, gets it out to Jordan Bovey, puts it up, no good, and that's halftime. So the score at halftime is the Vikings 46 and the Hilltoppers 10. We'll have Viking halftime complete with our Viking profile right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Meadow Keltner, who's a senior here at Colfax High School. And Meadow, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
I am in volleyball as well.
And how'd that go for you?
It was good.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has it been for you?
I started playing basketball when I was in second grade, and then since then it's been such a great experience, and I've met many new people and created a separate family of my own.
That's awesome. So what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
No matter how you're doing, you always should keep a good attitude and keep it just so you can keep the team in a good attitude as well.
Yeah, because if something doesn't go right, if you let it get to you, it's just going to fester and make matters worse.
Yep.
So it's all about the attitude. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you or keep you occupied?
I work a lot. I have 3 jobs right now, so it keeps me busy. But I spend some time outside. I like with my animals a lot. So.
Okay. All right. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Which kind?
Apple.
All right. With ice cream or no?
Sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Hot dog, burger, or brats?
Brats.
What do you want on that brat?
Nothing.
Nothing, just a plain brat.
Yep.
All right. That's kind of the way I like them too.
Yeah.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Is there a reason for that?
It's just a calming color.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'll buy that. Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Super strength.
Super strength. Okay. All right. So if you have the superpower of super strength, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's Meadow's superhero name?
Super Meadow.
Super Meadow. Okay. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
The Bucks.
All right. How about a collegiate team?
Don't really have a favorite.
All right. All right. Is there a basketball player in the past that has kind of influenced the way you play your game?
My dad. He played here at Colfax, and he just kind of started me with it and just kept me going and kept me motivated.
He schooled you?
He did.
Okay. We're talking with Meadow Keltner on Viking Profile. And Meadow, what are your plans for after high school?
I am going to college and doing pre-med, and then hopefully getting into med school and becoming a pediatrician.
Outstanding. How about a shout out to the family?
Thank you guys for all your support and love.
All right, when people watch Viking games, what number do you wear, and where are we going to find you on the floor?
I'm number 20, and you'll probably see me shooting a lot of threes on the court.
Okay. All right, we want to thank Meadow Keltner for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. Basically, he had to relearn everything. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Well, welcome back to Colfax High School, where the Vikings have opened up a 46-10 lead as we're getting ready to go into the second half over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got that 46-10 score?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for the Hilltoppers. They're led by number 52, Isabel Davis. She has 4 points. Tori Oman has 3. Libby Wagner has 2. And Jenna McCarthy has 1. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led right now by number 34, Brent Zakora. She has 12. Sierra Shipman has 10. Then we have Kason Goodell with 5. Meta Keltner has 5. Jordan Bovey has 6. Jada Anderson has 2. Jeanette Hajdukovic has 2. And McKenna Shipman has 4. 46-10 at halftime.
And the only negative thing I can see at all about the Vikings play this first half was their free throw shooting. What were they shooting from the charity stripe?
Yeah, right now they're 2 for 10. And
that's not very charitable from the charity stripe.
Yeah, and we were talking the other night down at that one place. Blair Taylor. They're 4 for 12 from the line, so they definitely got to pick up their free throws coming get closer to regionals.
And they were, the last few games, they had been doing better, but just Blair Taylor tonight and even over in Plum City, they kind of started falling off that good free throw shooting they had been doing.
Yeah, you know, you get that big lead, and it's easy to kind of lose focus when it comes to free throws. And, yeah, it's not a problem for tonight, but they'll definitely have to clean that up coming up.
So the Vikings will have the ball to start the second half. Keltner is going to inbound it to Goodell. And she comes through the center circle, feeds it over to the near side to Shipman, to Hajdukovic. Back out to Anderson, to Goodell down in the right corner. Out to Shipman from the right elbow, she put it in. McKenna Shipman with 2 more. So here come the Hilltoppers down the floor. This is McCarthy, gets it over to Wagner, to Volts, to Wagner, to McCarthy on the near side. Back out to Wagner, to Volts on the far side, to Wagner, to McCarthy, to Oman, to McCarthy. And the cross-court pass gets tipped away by Goodell. She drives in, she lays it up, and it goes in. She got a little shooter's roll there. Got it to go. 50-10, the Vikings are on top. Wagner with it down the right side of the lane, tries to put a shot up, and it was off the mark. Goodell with it for the Vikings. She's between the circles, feeds it over to the near side to Keltner. Keltner into the lane. Back out to Shipman. Over to the right side to Goodell. Goodell over to the elbow. Out to Hajdukovic, to Anderson. Anderson at the free throw line, gets it out to Shipman. Shipman to Goodell. Goodell takes it down to the baseline, back out to Shipman, launches a 3 off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by McCarthy. Jenna McCarthy brings it down the floor. She calls a play out there between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Wagner. Wagner tries to feed it to Volts. It gets tipped and goes out of bounds. Tipped by Goodell. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it. McCarthy to inbound. High pass out to Davis. Gets it over to Wagner on the right side. Dribbles down to the right baseline. Pass along the baseline. Shot goes up. It's no good, but she got fouled. Tori Oman on the shot.
Could be foul on 42.
McKenna Shipman with the foul. Oman at the line. First shot goes up. No, off the front of the iron. Oman's second shot on the way, rattles around and in. Goodell to bring it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side to Keltner. Back out to Anderson at the top of the key. To Shipman, circling over to the left elbow, puts a shot up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Down the floor comes Wagner. She feeds it into the lane to Oman, but the ball gets taken away by the Vikings, and down the floor comes Goodell. Goodell feeds it to Anderson, to Hajdukovic in the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped around, and coming down with it is Oman. Oman gets it over to, well, it was to McCarthy, and then she tried to pass it into the lane. It was knocked out of bounds by the Vikings, so it'll be inbounded by the Hilltoppers. Getting it into Davis, shot is no good. She chases down her own rebound, turns around, puts it up, no good. This rebound taken down by McCarthy, then to Volts. Volts out to Davis. Davis from just outside the arc, it's no good. Rebound tapped in bounds, and coming out of there is Keltner. Keltner high, wide, and left, feeds it over between the circles to Goodell. Goodell to the left elbow, to Hajdukovic, back to Goodell, who lays it in. A nice give and go that time.
9 points for Goodell.
We saw that same play in the first half on the other side. They ran it to the right. This time they ran it to the left. Ball gets knocked away. Vikings come down the floor. Anderson feeds it over to Shipman. Three-pointer short. Ball gets taken out of there by Volts. Volts to McCarthy. McCarthy's pass. We're going to get a foul. Foul is on Keltner. It's her second team foul on the Vikings. So the Hilltoppers will inbound the ball. They get it into Oman, high, wide, and left. Ball gets tipped away by Nigaman. But Oman gets it back, takes it over to the right side, then out to the top of the key, and then over to Volts on the left. Then to Blees. Then they get it over to Bright, and the ball gets knocked around. Bright chases it down. Out to Davis. Bright has it. And the pass down to the baseline goes out of bounds right through the hands of Oman. So the Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Jordan Bovey gets it off to Sierra Shipman, drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Davis. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. This is Blees. Gets it over to Bright on the near side, to Davis at the top of the key. Over to Blees on the left. Back out to Davis. Davis over to Volts. Then to Oman on the right side. Back out to Blees, to Bright on the left. To Volts. Oman takes it down to the right baseline. Then out to Bright, then to Blees on the left side.
They're trying to work it inside to Isabel Davis.
And Oman lays it up and in from the inside. I was going to say either Davis or Oman.
Yeah, Isabel Davis is covered up on the other side.
Jordan Bovey with it. Gets it to JC, takes it into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Bright. 52-13. Vikings on top. Ball gets tipped away. They get it over to Oman. She puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound by Nigaman. Long outlet pass to Sierra Shipman. She lays it up and in.
Yeah, good awareness by Sierra just to head down the court.
54-13. It's over on the left side. Bright has it. Tries to feed it down into the corner. Gets tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Hilltoppers. I believe they're saying it was last touched by Belize. Davis out of the lineup. Vikings with the ball. Jordan Bovey at the top of the key. Hands it off to Sierra Shipman. Cuts through the lane. Gets it to JC Bovey. She circles through the top part of the lane. Takes it back out to Sierra Shipman. And we're going to get a kicking the ball violation against the Hilltoppers. Shipman was trying to get the pass to Nigaman. And a foot got in the way. Nigaman gets it into Bovey. Out to Shipman, to Nigaman, lays it up, puts it in.
Autumn's got her first 2 points of the night.
56-13. Volts with it. Feeds it over on the far side to Belize. Ball gets knocked away, picked up by Jordan Bovey. Feeds it to Sierra Shipman, lays it up, puts it in. Basket counts, and she drew the harm.
14 points for Sierra Shipman tonight.
And we're going to get the hockey line change for the Vikings.
Falls in number 4 for Hilltoppers.
Opal Volts. Actually, it was 4 in, 4 out, but we have one sitting and waiting as Sierra Shipman's at the line for the +1. Shot is up, and it's good. Jada Anderson coming in for Sierra Shipman. 59-13, Vikings on top. Hilltoppers feed it over to high, wide, and right. McCarthy takes it down towards the lane, tied up, and we got a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Hilltoppers. McCarthy to inbound. Gets it into Wagner. Wagner dribbles it out on the right side. Turns around, comes back down the right side. Down along the baseline, and she stepped on the baseline. So the Vikings will get the ball. Kason Goodell on the dribble across the timeline. Takes it over to the left side, feeds it to Anderson. Anderson at the free throw line, gets it to Keltner. Keltner coming back to the left to Goodell. Into the lane and over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson into the lane, then down underneath to McKenna Shipman, who put it up and in.
Yeah, good look by Jada Anderson to find McKenna Shipman.
61-13. Lee's with it on the right side to Wagner. Or check that wasn't Wagner. That was McCarthy. But the ball got loosed. We'll get the tongue unwrapped from around the eye tooth so I can see what I'm saying. As Goodell tries to lay it up, and it doesn't go, and it got knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. 10:03 remaining in the game. Vikings on top, 61-13. Opal Volts across the timeline. Feeding it over to the near side to Wagner. Then to Oman, to Davis. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's on Anderson. Yes, that's who they called it on. They were looking pretty hard at Anderson when they blew the whistle.
And she got triple teamed down there, and somebody was going to draw a foul.
First foul on Anderson. First team foul on the Vikings this half. Davis's first shot is up. It's no good.
She's 2 for 3 from the line tonight.
And her second shot. Make that 3 for 4. Goodell with it, taking it to the left side. Gets it to Keltner. Hands it off to Anderson, then down underneath to Hajdukovic. First shot is no good. She puts a second one up. It goes in, and she drew the harm. So Jeanette Hajdukovic to go to the line for the +1. And that foul is going to be on Libby Wagner. It's her 4th. Oh, check that, Jenna McCarthy. It's her 4th. Shot goes up, rims around, no good. Rebound taken down by Davis. Down into the left corner, then back out to Wagner. Then over to Davis. Shot goes up, no good. Putback shot, no good. Another putback is no good. Rebound chased down by Volts. And they feed it down into the lane to Davis. Puts a shot up off the glass and in.
7 points for Isabel Davis.
Kason Goodell feeds it over to the right side to Anderson. Anderson drives into the lane. She lays it up too hard off the glass. And coming away with it are the Hilltoppers. Wagner brings it down the floor. Feeding it over to McCarthy. McCarthy cross corner pass to Davis. Puts the shot up, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball. For a minute there, it looked like he was going to call a foul, but no, he said jump ball. Kason Goodell bringing it down the floor. Feeds it to Hajdukovic at the left elbow. Out to Keltner, to Goodell. Back to Hajdukovic. Feeds it down underneath to Shipman. Puts the shot up, no good. Rebound chased down by Anderson. Over to Keltner. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. Feeding it to Hajdukovic, to Shipman, lays it up and in.
10 points for McKenna Shipman.
65-16. Hilltoppers with it. This is Wagner at the top of the key. Feeds it down low to McCarthy. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on Jenna McCarthy, and that'll be foul number 5 on McCarthy.
She'll end up with 1 point tonight.
She did not like that call very much. So the Vikings will have the ball. That's the 3rd team foul, by the way, on the Hilltoppers this half. Jordan Bovey feeds it over to Jenna, then to the left elbow to Sikora. Ball gets taken out of her hands by Wagner, who brings it across the timeline. Feeds it down underneath to Oman. Ball gets tipped around. Finally coming out of the crowd with it is Sierra Shipman. Feeds it down low. Shot goes up by Bovey. That was Jenna Bovey. Loose ball picked up by Jordan Bovey, and she put it in.
Jordan has 8 points tonight.
67-16. Pass comes down underneath to Davis, who turns around, puts it in. Isabel Davis.
9 points for her.
Made it 67-18. Pass down underneath, intended for Sierra Shipman, is intercepted by Davis, and then Shipman and Jenna Bovey run into each other. Exchange chuckles. Pass goes up, or shot goes up, is no good. Down the floor come the Vikings, and Bovey spinning, putting it up and putting it in. 69-18, Vikings on top, and we have a timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining?
Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, as the Vikings have a 69-18 lead over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. 5:50-ish to go, and the pass gets intercepted by the Vikings. Bovey with it. This is JC. Jenna graduated a long time ago. Pass over to the far side to Jordan. Out to Nigaman at the top of the key to JC over on the near side. Back out high to Sikora. Between the circles. Over to JC Bovey. And then out high to Jordan. Over to the near side to Sierra Shipman. Takes it to the free throw line. Out to Bovey. Vikings look like they're very content to just run clock here. Nigaman. Over to JC Bovey. To Sikora, to Shipman, out to Nigaman, to Jordan, drives into the lane, got tied up, and they're going to get Jordan with a travel. If we hadn't mentioned it, we are in running time, except during timeouts. Bringing the ball down the floor is Blees, feeds it over to Wagner, and then back across to Volts. Back out to Wagner, to Blees on the left side, to Wagner at the top of the key. Then to Oman, shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound tipped around, she's in traffic, puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped. Finally coming out of there is Sikora, but the ball got taken away by Davis, and then taken away by Sikora. Yeah, it was Shipman who came out with it the first time, and then Davis took it away from her, and then Sikora took it away from her. Did you get all that, Dan?
A lot happened in about 2 seconds there.
Vikings have it between the circles. That's Sikora out to Nigaman. Then to Bovey. This is JC. Out to Sikora. Nigaman with it to Jordan. Out to Sikora, to JC, to Nigaman.
Yeah, that's a lot of 3 minutes left to run off. Probably just try to find a way to get inside here.
And coming through to try to break up the pass was Wagner, knocked it out of bounds. And we have wholesale substitutions for both teams. Vikings have 3 in and 3 out. The 3 in for the Vikings are Layla Hurlbert, Clara Hajdukovic, and Jennifer Maves. Jordan Bovey with it for the Vikings. Taking it into the forecourt. Feeds it over to Maves on the near side. Trying to get it to Hurlbert, and the ball gets taken away and down the floor by Flick. Tries to put the shot up, it's no good. Out of bounds, knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. So the Hilltoppers will have it. Inbounding is going to be Blazer for the Hilltoppers. Feeds it underneath to Bright, puts a shot up, it's going to count, and we're going to get a foul. Brooklyn Bright with the 2. And the foul is going to be on Jordan Bovey. It's her fourth team foul on the Vikings. Brooklyn Bright with the +1 attempt, and she got it.
She has 3 points tonight.
Jordan Bovey, feed over to Hurlburt, to Hajdukovic. This is Clara Hajdukovic. To Maves, back out to Bovey, then to Hurlburt. Hurlburt to the right elbow, feeds it over to Shipman. Cross-court pass over to Jordan Bovey, then back out to Maves.
I would guess they're
Then
not.
to Shipman. Hurlburt, or Hajdukovic, and Hajdukovic got her first varsity points of the year. Little turnaround jump shot by Clara Hajdukovic.
10 girls with points for Colfax tonight.
Into the lane, dribbles Blazer. She feeds it off to Brandt, and then she gets it out to Kruger. Then back to Blazer, and the ball gets taken away by Shipman. To Jordan Bovey. Over to Maves, three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron, no good. Coming up on a minute to go in this one, 71-21, Vikings on top. It's over to the left side to Blazer. Blazer feeds it out to Bright. Bright over to the left side. They put the shot up. It's no good. That shot was by Flick, and the Vikings have the ball with 45 seconds remaining. Shipman to Maves to Hurlburt. Jumper from the baseline goes up over the glass and out of bounds.
Yeah, she's a little surprised here. She had some really good threes during JV game tonight, and then she throws it over the backboard.
Yeah, she had a 27-point performance in the junior varsity game.
She goes, what was that?
7 seconds remaining. Hilltoppers have it on the near side. This is Kruger. Then they get it out to Brandt, who put the shot up. It's no good. And there's the buzzer. Final score, Vikings 71 and the Hilltoppers 21. And we're going to have a summary of this one and all the details right after this timeout when we get to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Dairy State Bank encourages you to save smarter for your retirement by maximizing possible tax advantages. We offer traditional, Roth, and rollover IRAs with a wide variety of investment options. It's not too late to invest up to $6,500 of possible tax-deferred earnings into an IRA for 2023 tax purposes, or $7,500 if you're 50 or better. Call or stop by for more information. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Flashlights. What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Let's start time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Relax a little.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and joining us is Viking assistant coach Carly Kittleson. And coach, not a lot of doubt in this one from very early on, a 50-point win for the Vikings, 71-21. But there was a lot of good performances by a lot of girls out on that floor.
There was, a lot of them stepped up. We played good team basketball, very unselfish play, made the extra pass. We'd have a good shot, but then we'd pass to get the great shot. So
we even commented about that back in the first half when all of a sudden they'd take the ball down the floor and they would move the ball around really, really well. And you could just see that things were, they were finding an open player. They were seeing the floor well. And then the long outlet passes that were working, and so they're seeing those things. That's a change from earlier this year.
That is, and we ran the floor really well tonight, which is a good thing. And like you said, our guards were seeing them. That's always reassuring to see. We work on it all the time, and then when they can put it together, it's a great thing.
And that they did tonight. What do we have, Dan? 11 girls that scored in this game?
I think so.
Yeah.
Clara Hajdukovic got her first varsity point.
First
so
varsity points, and it was good to see the crowd erupt for that one.
It was, yep.
And you had some different leaders tonight in scoring. You had, what do we have? Well, Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could make for some interesting family dynamic there.
Yes. No, it's always good when that happens, when other players step up and, they can do that and add to the game. It's a good thing.
Now, not all the games are going to be like they are tonight.
Nope.
But this has got to be good for the Vikings to be able to iron out some of those rough areas and get things to work.
Absolutely. It gave us some opportunities to, like you said, iron out some of our offense plays, positioning, where to be, we're trying some new things, so just trying to work on it. It was a great game to do that.
And it doesn't matter who you're playing, when you get a chance to do that in game conditions, it's a lot different than practice.
It is, absolutely.
Now, there's one somewhat negative thing. What has happened to the free throw shooting?
Yep. We wonder that too, because we definitely practice it a lot, and like we said, these are the easy ones to make in a game like this. There's not a lot of pressure, so you would hope we could do that. The next one's in. That's the mentality they have to have.
Well, Dan kind of hinted at it, and I'm wondering if maybe this doesn't have something to do with it. In a game that gets this big of a spread, and like you say, these should be the easy ones.
Yeah.
But do you think maybe they're losing a little focus or concentration? And
I don't, just because we've had it in other games too. Our free throw percentage hasn't been super spectacular yet.
That's true. But there was a streak in there that it was getting up really good.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, these last three games, it's just been terrible.
And a lot of it, is mental, but making sure you have your eye on the target and just next one's in and just focus on it.
And you've just got to focus.
Yep.
Well, 71-21, you've got Mondovi down in Mondovi on Friday. What do you know about them?
Mondovi's always scrappy. They come ready to play. They definitely are up on you on defense, so we got to be ready to handle pressure. And Ava Gray is a great player, along with her teammates, so we just have to do our job defensively.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on the 71-21 win, and we will see you down in Mondovi. Thank you for joining us on Viking Post Game, and we'll have more Viking Post Game coming up right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Spring is on its way, and the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Colfax High School baseball.
Yeah.
Join us as we follow the Colfax Vikings as they battle their way through the Dunn St. Croix Conference. We'll carry Viking home games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are excited to bring you Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 11th, when the Vikings will travel to Plum City, Wisconsin to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Thursday, January 11th.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV is excited to once again be your host for Colfax High School girls basketball throughout the 2023 through 2024 season. Our next game will be on Friday, January 12th, when the Vikings will travel to Mondovi, Wisconsin to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 12th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Viking post game as the Vikings are 71-21 victors over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got to those scores?
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for Glenwood City. They're led by number 52, Isabel Davis. She had 9. Then we had Tori Ullman with 6. Jenna McCarthy with 1. Brooklyn Bright with 3. And Libby Wagner with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led tonight by number 30, Sierra Shipman. She had 15. Then we had Ben Sikora with 12. McKenna Shipman with 10. Then we have Claire Hajdukovic with 2. Jeanette Hajdukovic with 4. J.D. Anderson with 2. Jordan Bovey with 8. Autumn Nigaman with 2. Meadow Keltner with 5. J.C. Bovey with 2. And Kason Goodell with 9. 71-21 Colfax.
All in all, a really good outing for the Vikings, 71-21. This is the second 50-point victory in like about the last 4 games for the Vikings. They seem to be getting a lot of things heading in the right direction. We'll find out on Friday when they go down and face the Mondovi Buffaloes.
Yeah, I think tonight Glenwood City was kind of one-dimensional. They just tried to get the ball into Isabel Davis. They did take a few threes, but not too many. And it was kind of one and done on the boards for Colfax. And they got out in transition, scored some points. And always a deep bench helps to get the win.
So we've got more basketball coming up this week. On Thursday, join us on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. That's for the Viking boys as they travel over to Plum City to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Viking pregame begins at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's the Viking boys basketball on Thursday on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Also join NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Friday, January 12th as the Viking girls travel to Mondovi to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes in a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 6:40 p.m., and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax girls basketball on Friday, January 12th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also on Friday, I want to remind you that marks the end of the second quarter and the end of the first semester of the 2023-2024 school year. School will dismiss at 12:30 on Friday with no morning or afternoon junior kindergarten. Also, want to remind you that tonight's Colfax Viking Girls basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let doctors Austin and Nikki Pritchard and their friendly staff take care of your pet. C&K Construction, your concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax for comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and also Viking TV. So, for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson, this is Rick Olson, and that final score, once again, Vikings 71, Glenwood City Hilltoppers 21. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.